say. The upper bracket run, Jonathan, is what I meant to say. Listen, I'm a little bit sick.
Run it back.
Give me a break.
Run it back. We're going back to TI-11, guys.
TI-11, do it all
Run
over
it
again. Back to Singapore.
Back. Oh, goodness me, Mikey. That caught me off guard right there.
Yeah, look, it's been a rough night, all right? Give me a break.
Night, Mike. It's morning. What are you talking about?
It's been a rough morning for you too, apparently, John. You haven't stopped coughing all day.
Yeah,
you
I
sick
know.
as
My
well?
throat's suddenly my throat's gotten very dry. I just realized I didn't have any water around, so
Very good.
I'm just slowly suffocating. But all in the name of Dota 2, that's perfectly fine, Mike. Sacrifices must be made.
Speaking
As
of
you
Dota
sacrifice
2,
time with your daughter, you know?
I wouldn't call that a sacrifice, Sean. Speaking of Dota 2, John, now that everyone's aware that the 10th anniversary treasures are out, did you have a particular treasure you wanted, Jonathan? Is there a cosmetic you like best out of the treasure?
I think the Mirana 10th anniversary persona looks pretty good. Like that set on the persona looks really nice. And the CRT effect. I kind of want to see the CRT effect so I can know how it feels like to be Fear. You know, I idolized Fear way back in the day in old EG. I want to experience how Fear played Dota 2 on a CRT. I don't know why. Mike. I remember watching a clip of Fear, and this is a bit of a segue as the game starts.
Yeah.
I remember watching Fear play with Merlini in a pub, and he just went off and then realized he was cursing at Merlini and said sorry. You know, so just a note. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys are really old, but that's cool.
Yeah. Thank you for that segue, Jonathan. Shout out to Fear. I'm sure he's smiling somewhere watching this. If he's watching,
He's not.
who the hell
He
knows?
doesn't care about us.
No, he probably doesn't. I mean, I don't care about him either, John. Let's be frank, right? Had my experiences with Fear. Everyone knows me and him have constant drama going on. As you saw on Reddit once upon a time. Anyway, looking at these lanes, Jonathan, mid lane still, of course, up against Red 2. Red 2 so far having a very strong time as just kind of abusing the side blades here against Steel. As the levels do go up, Steel should have a better time, you'd argue, but for now, Red 2 is just really giving it to him in terms of the harassment.
Yeah, just working the side blades up against Steel. Steel will have consistent way of burning true. The refraction, once he does have that value point in Shadow Strike, but look at the positioning of Red 2. He just knows, get that free harass off, drop Steel down, does lose the range creep, but he's wasting a lot of HP in that lane.
Not a very fun time for Steel, to say the least. That top lane, Kahlua and Takai are going to be up against Moose and Speed. You know, as the levels do go up on Speed, you'd imagine he should have a pretty good time. Do you want to talk to me about Mana Drain for this lane, Jonathan? Is that what we're going to talk about?
That's a great spell. No, I was going to say Kahlua. Sounded a little bit thirsty there, Mike. No? Thirsty at this hour, Mike? I wouldn't suggest it, but, you know, you do you. Kahlua is having a decent enough time.
I can't believe you're making fun of my English now, John. Well,
you can make fun of mine. It's fine. I understand. I'm not a native English speaker. You know, you want me to bring the accent out again, Mike? Huh? You want to go there again?
The eye's too close, Jonathan. Don't do it, for the love of God.
Still, yeah. Kahlua, he's having a decent enough time. This is not the most straightforward lane for a Timb. It's hard to gap close when there's an Undying and threatening. It is also really awkward for Tokaya to just exert pressure here as well, considering that, you know, Moose hasn't picked up the Mana Drain, but it is painful for Undying when you're just being drained down. You know, you don't have any interrupts to stop that. You can try to threaten with Metamorphosis when that timing's up, but when it's down, Moose has free reign to just cut off your resources here in lane and just make it tough for that TB to find that initial build-up.
Were you mad that they didn't give the Hex bonus damage to Lion like they did to Shadow Shaman, John?
I honestly didn't care, actually. I felt like Lion would have been way too busted with that. I was just really happy about his level 20 talent. It's so dumb. Have you seen that thing? It is so dumb. I don't know if it's good or bad, honestly, because a good Lion probably just lands their stuns anyway, but when you see those tree Earth Spikes come out, you can't help but giggle. It's silly.
What's even sillier is expecting yourself to get to level 20 as Lion, John. That just never happens.
You see, I'm a smart player, Mike. I play turbo only now. So I always hit level 20. There you go. I get to experience Dota at its best. I get to see Viper Universal.
You do. You certainly do. I feel sorry for you, John. It doesn't sound like a very fun thing to have to watch. Bottom lane, Bloody Nine's being chased down right now. That doesn't look like very much fun either. Braxy's going to go for a bit of a chase. Bloody Nine will just take the banner away. Arrow is available if he wants to throw it out, but it seems like Bloody Nine will be just fine. Bloody Nine, though, he's going to run back up to the high ground. Braxy's still waiting for an extra starfall before he does leave, and that's going to be enough now.
Yep. He ate through one raindrop charge at very least, so wasting a few of the resources for the silencer to kind of work that lane. But it does give a lot of room out for DNM to just farm up. He's not too worried about the 1v1 against Morris. Right? You can always kind of get the Dark Pact off, stay in control from that counter control out from Blessed Kid. You can always build stacks up with the Essence Shift as well. So in a 1v1 lane, with what they've done here in DogChamp, you don't mind it too much. I think the side of Lucky Bird has to kind of do it.
Oh
God,
my.
I got so confused there.
Oh, no.
Freebird, Lucky
How
Little Bird.
Karua. He's gone. Bloody Nine. Very nice rotation on the silencer. Ends up helping secure a kill onto Karua, and Moose immediately hands a tip over on the line. Massive pick-off already for DogChamp, finding the TB.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. And you can already see Karua, he's queuing up that Midas. He knows he's in for a little bit of a slow haul here. Needs some catch-up. His lane not going the way he'd want it to. It's not the worst start. He's still having marginally better farm than DNM, but the death does hold him back. And the Midas timing, it's not going to be as quick as you'd want. Shouldn't be too bad. But that does mean you're not going to see that early link up from the Terrorblade. In comparison to, say, the Dragonlance and Yasha. Like, the Midas does mean you're going to be sitting there and farming for quite some time here on the side of Lucky Bird.
Nice rotated top lane again. Uh-oh, Karua, they might have him a second time. Last word and the curse was there, but it's not going to be quite enough damage. They had to address the tombstone that was thrown out by Takaya. Bloody Knight almost going down, barely walks away in time. That tombstone, it did a lot of work in ensuring Karua could walk away from that scenario. I say walk away, the chase is still on. Karua gets salved up, is going to be able to survive for now. Looks like Takaya does end up getting the Lotus as well. So Moose is still chasing them down. Now they're going to find the Undying. Hex out. Can they actually get Takaya? Not quite yet, but Speed is just going to chase him down and ensure that eventually he does die as Karua. Getting very low himself now on the TB. Speed. Gonna see him heal up with the magic wand. We'll back off as Bloody Nine will actually make it out. He's gonna be fine. Karua?
Yeah.
He's still playing with fire, but Speed, he understands how aggressive he can be with the Vanguard up. But there's not really much Karua can do to threaten him on the Timber right now.
I like this map working from the side of DogChamp. Again, freeing up the 1v1 for DNM, freeing up the 1v1 mid as well, where Red 2 is still farming way ahead of Steel, not really able to apply that early pressure you'd want here on a Quap with no help. They'll try now, I suppose, but...
Steel? Yes. I'm just going to land onto the TA. Red 2, he does not have Refraction, but he's going to be fine to walk away, it seems. Or even rotate Bloody Nine in to fill the bottom up of Red 2, just ensure that he's keeping happy. And in fact, tower pressure being applied to the T1 mid. No siege creep available, but Red 2 just wants to get to work, and he does force some rotations.
Steel?
Problem is, there's a lot of heroes incoming. Meanwhile, Steel just dies. Moose just kills him with the Earth Spike. Red at least does get caught in the arena, so they should find a trade, and they will. But it costs them so much more.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward. Like, the silence came out from Bloody Nine with the last word kicking in, and he just came out, Earth Spike right click, found that kill, playing a little bit greedy on Steel to just hang around there. They find a counter punishment, but does feel a little bit more wasteful on the side of Lucky Bird, dragging in 3 heroes down mid, again freeing up bot for DNM to farm, freeing up top for Speed to just do what he wants on that Timb. It is space coming out from Karua, though. So that is the one big thing. But in comparison for, say, Terrorblade up against a PA from the last game, it doesn't feel like that space investment is going to lead to an explosive mid game. You know, especially with a Midas buildup. The Terrorblade, it's going to need a little bit more time than the TA did to get active, so you're going to have to keep stalling for a lot longer. And I just see DogChamp getting way too much in exchange for that space. Like, the mid's still set to fall despite those stats. You're still having a free Slark lane. Your Timbersaw shoving in top. The map is still coming all together here for DogChamp.
Dire's top tower is under
More
attack.
rotations to the mid lane. Like, just the amount of pressure being applied here in the mid is kind of insane as Moose eventually going to get caught on the line. Does get a D-ward off before he dies. Sonic Wave thrown out just to ensure he does go down. We'll get him eventually. But Red 2, he's just been constantly moving up to that tier 1 tower and just hitting it with the bonus damage of the refraction. And it's ensuring that both supports from Lucky Bird are just always here.
Yeah, again, just ensuring that there's not much aggressive play that the side of Lucky Bird can do. Like, no one can come down to the Slark while he's still highly susceptible to ganks. No one's really dealing with speed up top, allowing him to just get a free push in. And you're not finding these TA kills, so the Gambit is working for Red 2. They are starting to drag in more heroes mid, though.
Another one. Red 2. Oh, he's just going to slow Bleskid up.
Dire's top
Not a great feeling for Bleskid whatsoever. Takaya getting slowed by Red 2. Will be left to walk away.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's just not a good feeling. Like, Red 2 is just bringing way too much attention to the mid lane. And they're not getting enough to really make it worth this much kind of space and time that they're giving to this. Like, just the presence of Red 2 is enough to force 4 heroes into the mid lane consistently. That is a concerning sign, to say the least. Now top lane, Karua, he's going to try and find a way out of this one, but they've got the finger. He's gone.
Just like that. And again, this is very reminiscent of game 1 as well, with what DogChamp did there. Right? It's the same movement. They move down mid, they force the heroes out from Lucky Bird, they free up their side lanes, and this time on Radiant's side, DogChamp has the aggressive wards up top. As
Now
they are
Red-
trying for more here.
Yeah, he got the mid tier 1 tower, by the way, as Takaya does finally go down bottom lane. The mid tier 1 tower's gone. It was just Red. Bleskid,
Yeah.
he should be able to make it out just fine. There's no real chase going on here from DogChamp. But look at the top 3 net worths on the board. They're all on the side of DogChamp.
Yeah, they've gotten so much from these movements, and it feels like Lucky Bird aren't able to play to their strengths, right? Mind you, even these rotations with the 2 supports, like, how do you play off the back of a Mirana and an Undying without stun setup? You get the Arena off.
Arena is down. Arrow did land as well, but DNM, he's going to be perfectly fine in the Shadow Realm. Rather, the Shadow Dance. Stakaya does go down. Bloody 9 just aiming to go after the Tombstone instead of backing off. May pay for it with his life, and eventually will. Problem is now Red 2's rotated over. They'll lose Moose on the line, but they're going to lose Steel on the Quap. A much better trade for DogChamp again. It's not a good feeling when your Quap dies to a right-click hit of Red 2.
And all of these fights are breaking out with Speed getting all of the space he needs. Like, this Timbersaw is not even showing up, clearing out the triangle stacks, and shoving in top, and just building into this Kaya Sanj. So that's without the big frontliner here. And once you factor in that Timbersaw, it feels like for the side of Lucky Bird, you don't have a lot of solutions just yet. You're just trying to bank on Karua to farm up in this Terrorblade. He is just going for a standard Manta build-up after this finished up Midas. He's getting some room up top with all the attention taken away. So there is some catch-up going on, but you're going to need a lot more. You're sacrificing a ton of Steel's farm to get all these moves out. And this Quap is just not off to the start it needs to be. You can still threaten, of course, with a Sonic Wave, but you kind of want your Shard to come out at some point. You kind of want your own Kaya Sanj if possible. All of that's a little bit far off here for Steel.
Might be another fight to break out in the Dire jungle here, John. Smoke is out from Lucky Bird. I mean, they'll move into their own jungle, but the thing is, like, nobody's really hanging around anymore from DogChamp. They seem to be very well aware that something is awry. Speed? Oh, he's going to get caught by the Arena. That's a big target. Arrow's gonna land speed. He's a tanky boy, but can he find a way out of this? He'll try to chain away, but it's not gonna be enough. They do get him.
Dire's bottom
It was a little bit too close for comfort, but he does go down. Maybe more. Moose walking away. Bloody Nine actually going to move in as Moose just blinks right in with the dagger. And Takaya just melts to the finger damage. Tombstone gone as well. Bloody Nine maybe goes down to steal, but probably not. He's just fine.
It is still a better trade coming out there for Lucky Bird, to be fair. Like, you found a core for his support. That's finger on the support as well. So you're not really finding that big target in, say, Karua here. But they're still clumped up for this fight. Moves with the early blink. Just wants to keep this aggression up. Look for these openings. They've got good vision to play around here as well. The side of Lucky Bird should know that they've been warded up in their jungle. Maybe not knowing about that forward ward in the top area of the lane. But they should start to try to reel away from this aggression. DogChamp, though, are still looking to push that pressure in. They've bought tons of room for DNM. Echo Saber coming out rather soon. And once the start starts to work towards the Ags, that's where things get really hard. Because right now you're banking on Steel to kind of jump in and out. You're banking on this blink from Blessed Kid. But a Slark with 2 pounces with that range is going to be really hard to counteract.
Good lane. They have found Moose. Moose, he gets caught in the arena. That is still just a lion you've caught out, and Moose is actually surviving longer than you'd expect. Takaya, he might actually still just die. The curse is going. He's down. It's still a trade as now Blessed Kid. Blessed Kid just gets destroyed. And look at Red. Red's got his own blink up with a DD rune. Steel is gone. Double kill for Red. And he wants a bit more with that. Blink up in 5. Braxy's going to try and go for a leap up to the high ground. But Red 2's not giving up. Or he will. He won't go in blind. No need.
Yeah, a little bit too crazy to jump the high ground right now. Still more than happy. Really good blink dodge there as well from Red 2 out of the arena. As the Global Silence comes in. Again, the counter fights coming out from DogChamp is just so damn strong when you've got the Silencer on your side. At least, again, for Lucky Bird, the big win is that Karua is farming. He's catching up in that Terrorblade. He's maximizing that Midas.
Yeah, I mean, he just respawned on this Mars, and well, sadly, he's going right back to the graveyard, and he's bringing another one with him. Stakaya, he's stuck around to help out, but he's just going to drop as Lucky Bird, they're still trying to fight. Karua, he's going to find DNM. They'll see Red 2 on the TA, but Red, he's already walking his way out. It seems like that'll be about it for Lucky Bird. They'll lose 2, but they'll get nothing in return. Not the greatest of engagements. Or they might even lose more, because DogChamp, they are waiting on the high ground of the Radiant, or rather the Dire Triangle. Hoping someone would walk up the staircase, but seems like nobody will walk that way.
Have to play it safe on the side of Lucky Bird. They finally make their move in with the lower ward on their triangle area. So they see Moose kind of disengage from the triangle. They see him walk back up. They back off, playing extra cautiously on side of Lucky Bird. And the side of DogChamp, again, they've been dictating everything. A smoke out here from the side of Lucky Bird, though. Global Silence will be back up. So this might not be the smoothest ride for a gank.
They're going to try. If they can get the jump on DNM, it might be all that matters, but instead they're running towards the mid lane. See if they can find themselves an easier target, perhaps. Smoke out on Moose. Red 2. Well scouted. Will be smoked up now as Moose is going to get scattered at himself first. Though the Global Silence is there, but he will die. They do get 1. Question is, can they get their way out of there? Takai is just standing his ground, trying to fight as the Undying. But he is gone. Here comes Speed. They'll even find Braxy. The Mirana's gone now. So you got a lion kill for your trouble, but you lost both supports for that. Leskid's still going to try and jump back in for more. They have found 1. They'll find a 2nd. Red 2 also going down. DNM. He's going to try and kill off Steel, and he actually gets him. Karua, at least able to TP away. So they'll get a quap for their trouble. And I'm not really sure if you can call that worth for Lucky Bird, but it seems like in terms of the gold change, it was worth the time.
It's definitely worth the time. You had to put a stop to what Red 2 was doing. It's a pretty decent streak to come out there as well for Karua to find. So your Terrorblade starting to hit this timing now with a full Manta up, going for the Dragonlance into a Butterfly. And that's where things can start to get a little bit more challenging for the side of DogChamp. The Ags for DNM still on the way out. They're probably going to need an MKB now to circumvent that. Butterfly coming out soon as well. And that was the side of Lucky Bird going for their smoke play. And you still find a TA in the end. A little bit costly, but again, considering the target you found, more than happy on the side of Lucky Bird. The side of DogChamp, though, and the Ags is, again, coming out for DNM. Speed has his Ags coming out here as well. So once he has that full reactive armor active up, it's just going to be tough. Like, it's going to feel really good up against a Terrorblade. The damage output in the middle as well is going to be really oppressive to deal with. And the conditions for Lucky Bird are still the same. The fact that they're locked down still really heavily tied into Arena and Spear, and a arrow follow-up from that point, it just makes these angles for these fights a lot tougher than they should be. Maybe down the line when you start to work towards, say, a site of Vice on someone like, say, Steel, or even Braxy, if you can kind of work to that point, it starts to feel better. But yeah, that's still a ways off in this game. Like, you'll always have to play the smoke play and go as 4 at the very least to find a kill.
Oh, looking at DNM mid lane. That's a big pick-off thing. Get it. DNM, though, nice pounce away. No Arena being dropped, just the Spear being thrown out. None of it amounts to anything. Maybe they can at least get this regen rune, but no, they'll even deny that off, just in case. I mean, obviously DNM's not going to be an easy target anyway to catch with that Spear Arena, but I said it just feels like you got to go for another target. Like, the Slark is probably not the one you really secure a kill on.
No. Just way too slippery of a fish. And that's him without the Ags. Ags is flying out in about 200 gold. So you're going to hit a big spike here for DNM. Much more mobility. A lot more lockdown to get some chain control off. Steel.
Steel's playing very aggressively. Global Silence is out. They have not got the pounce, but they don't need it. So still just getting a little bit overly cocky there against Speed, and well, he pays for it.
That's a big kill for the side of DogChamp to find this time around. And that's the full Ags flying out now for DNM. He's got the double pounces up. They've got room to do Roshan with the Desolator up on red 2. Not going to take too long, and there's just no contestation here from Lucky Bird. No forward vision, no way of gap closing into that area, and there's no way to fight in that area anyway. They're still coming in. They TP down here.
I mean, it's kind of like you're forced to fight, but at the same time, it's like, can you actually do it? The answer is definitely no now. Lucky Bird, they are still grouping up, still thinking about this. Takaya will reveal his position. Speed obviously not too afraid with the Ags up now, the Timber. Lucky Bird still hanging around. Arena is down. They'll try and go after the Timber Saw, but he's got the barrier out, so Speed is taking literally no damage. They are stuck with him. He is not stuck in that arena. Bless Kid is gone. There goes Takaya to boot. Karua is trying his best to fight this one out. And he'll get the Aegis, but that's about it. That was just such a forced team fight. Did nobody check the items of Speed? I don't think anybody looked. I mean, I agree. It's an XD right there, Joe. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, well, Moo's XD'd because he walked up to the illusions and died.
Okay.
He didn't mana drain them, so you know that's a little bit sussy, but Lucky Bird for sure. Again, they get the scan off on Roche. They lost their quap there. They knew the Slark was around the area. They maybe didn't see the TA Desolator timing. That was a fresh Deso from Red 2. He didn't have any charges before the fight. So that might have thrown them off from getting that instant read and coming in earlier, but that was a forced fight after Roche fell. Where like you're TPing in, your quap's not there for follow-up damage in the arena. You don't recognize that the Ags is up and running on DNM and on Speed with that Desolator on top. Like, these item timings are not something that Lucky Bird can play into any longer. Now they're setting an ambush up by the Tormentor here, unless they just want it themselves, and now they'll just find it for themselves. No sneaky plays. Now you've got the Death Shroud as well. How does DNM get it? Did everyone spy theirs? No.
That's the
I mean, you
question
have
we
Lion
always
Shard, I guess.
the question we always have is how do the carries get it, John? But that's how it works.
He's top 2 in his teams in that war. How does he get it?
Gaben's
Isn't the bottom 2?
Gaben's a core player, John. We've established this. We know he doesn't play support. He's a core player, you know? You can't always believe those patch notes, Jonathan.
That is fair, Mike. Still 20 to 10, 17k lead for DogChamp. Trying to find an opening on Alpha, but even Speed's not targetable with a reactive armor active. Just so much EHP here.
Mid lane, they're looking for something. Looking for any kind of opportunity, any kind of opening, but it just never shows itself. The sad thing is as well, for Lucky Bird, is you're always grouped up as a team trying to force a fight. And DogChamp's just casually farming the whole time. And now the smoke is going to come out from DogChamp. Into the mid lane they go, they'll run right towards Takaya. Speed's going to find him. Meanwhile, Steel could also be in a spot of danger if he's not too careful. Well, they found him, they know the Quap's there. Moose is out with the Hex, and that should be about it for the Quap. Steel is just not having a great day today. There's now the mid-tier 2 tower. Will be focused down by DogChamp, but there's just nothing they can do about it. Even Ping's coming out towards the high ground now, but it seems like DogChamp, they want to go for the fight down at bot lane instead. In Speed, he's already on the chase for Karua.
Has been killed.
He will find his career, but not the real hero.
Yeah, Karua does manage to bail out in the nick of time. Seeing a little bit of that rotation out, plays it safe. 22 to 10, 19k lead for DogChamp. For the side of Lucky Bird right now, I know, like, they need something like a Side of Vice. If they can maybe farm up after the BKB of Steel into the Side of Vice, this game starts to open up a little bit more, but this kind of goes back to support duo. Undying plus Mirana without a core you can really combine with outside of the Mars means that your initiation's always tied into trying to play with Arena. And they've got it up now. They could try.
Here we go. Pouncy and DNM already finding Takaya, and Speed just shreds him. They drop the Arena defensively to try and get away from this. Speed is still moving forward. Bleskid's also been caught on the Mars, so Bleskid's just gone. No chance of survival. Steel is just blinking towards the south now. The only straggler left here for Lucky Bird. They know he's around here somewhere. It's a matter of whether you want to waste your time chasing this guy down. Never mind, Steel reveals himself in the creep wave, so they will just jump him. No creep skipping for you, sir. That'll be a 3-for-nothing trade the way of DogChamp.
Yeah, everything's just lining up for them. Finding these openings. Side of Lucky Bird don't really have that much room to build up. They've invested everything they have into Karua. He does have the butterfly up. So it's a little bit more EHP coming out. Nothing like an MKB on any of these heroes just yet, or anything like a Bloodtorn. So you're feeling pretty good on the Terrorblade to stand up front, but they can start to itemize against that with it revealed on the illusions now as well. And DogChamp, well, I don't know, like Speed already has the Octarine, more uptime for the reactive armor active, can just keep playing up front, no problems here. And it's just a lack of lockdown, lack of pick-off. Your burst play with Quap doesn't feel amazing. Kind of missed out on opportunities.
Oh, Takaya. Well, I don't know what he's done wrong to DogChamp, but every time they see this guy, they are not hesitating at all.
Dire's bottom tower
Just immediate jumps in from Moose with this blink up, and I suppose getting rid of the Undying this early every single time, like just not being able to drop that tombstone, it's gotta hurt.
It does hurt. It's a big part of your team fights. Even just having the K to soften them up as well. It's a massive tool to lose. Respawn isn't that long for Takaya. So at least he'll be back around for the high ground.
I thought Moose was thinking about jumping in on his own.
Dire's bottom tower.
Mana draining illusions, that's all he's doing. Your favorite pastime, of course, John?
Oh yes, that it is, Mikey. Thank you. I do enjoy me a mana drain. I do enjoy me a life drain. All the drains, Mike. I love drains.
Have you noticed that Moose hasn't given his allies any mana yet, John? It's just me.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, it's good in certain situations. It's really just the fact that he has a shard, Mike. You see, when you have your shard, you want to stand and constantly drain. Right? Who cares about your allies? It's not a concern here. There's no mana battery to be used here.
That's very true.
Maybe a Timber Saw, but meh.
Dire's bottom tower.
DNM. Oh, he jumps right into him. Nice arena to lock them down. Global Silence was committed as well. TNM is actually just fighting back. With the Shadow Dance, they just could not do anything about him. So now the team fight continues, but DogChamp, they're the ones being aggressive. Karua, he's going to pop the Metamorphosis and try and chase down Bloody Nine, but Bloody Nine is just fine to walk away. TNM in the meantime dropping very low, forced to pounce out of there. Because it seems like moves will go down. That is one support down for the side of DogChamp. Maybe they can find another. They have found Takaya at the least on the Undying now, so it's a 1-for-1 as Speed is just going for more. He'll find a second. He'll take down the Mars. Karua dropping low, he's just dead. That barrier of speed exploding right onto the Timber. It's just too much. Like DogChamp, it's starting to feel like they are way too far ahead. A 1-for-5 trade. And yeah, GG is called. They've had enough.
I can't fault them. Like, this game was pretty hard to look for the comeback in. That felt like their Hail Mary play and trying to catch out a Slark. And